願いします。
お願いします。
All right, let's warm up. Circles. Down. Up. Down. Up. Go left and right. Move through them. Your back leg all the way through your fingertips. Shoulder away from your ear. Legs. Toes up. Squat. Sink into it. Don't put, you can put your arms on your legs, but don't put weight on. And look over your shoulder. Point the opposite elbow out. Both sides. All right, feet together. Now, if you have a good surface, roll back. Keep your legs back. Come up, cross your legs. Back again. Up, cross your legs the other way. Feet straight out in front. Flex your feet, engage your quads. Have a straight back, shoulders back. Just lean forward, hinge at the hips. So you feel the skin on the back of your legs stretching. And I'm going to point my toes around everything. Different hamstring stretch. Legs open. However you like to go, we'll go one side then the other. Switch. Again. Switch. And then chest straight down. Try to keep your shoulders back again on this. Forward. And always neutral neck. All right, feet together. Keep that straight back again, hinge forward. Try not to have your shoulders forward. And now round everything. Let's do ankles. Toes. Massage your arch. And pound it. Shake. Other side. Ankle. Toes. Arch. Pound. And shake. And sit seiza, but you can be up on your toes or you can stand. Stretching back this way if you're standing, just stretch your quad. Do both sides. Do arm circles. Open your shoulders on this too a little bit so they feel nice and free both ways. It's good. Do it a little faster. All right, let's breathe. Okay, if you have a good surface, let's do the hard one first. So we'll kind of make your body like a V, slight V. You're going to keep your ankles or your toes, your feet off the ground. Keep my head off the ground. I'm going to go back, not hit my head. Come back, hold it. Be very good ab work. I'm shaking already. Let's do a few at your own pace. And then hold it a few seconds. And rest for a minute. So I'm not feeling the whole sequence all the way through today. Now I'm going to try it. I'm going to be on one hip, one cheek. So same thing, start yourself in a V, get on one cheek. Go down just on that one side of your body. Back up. Again, your heels and your head don't touch. You at your own pace. And then hold it. We'll switch sides. Back it up at your own pace. And then hold it. And relax. One of those senseis on Saturday did, I think, each one of those, like 3 sets of 10, and then held it for 10 seconds in between each one, and never put his heels down. So, goals. As long as we're down here, let's do some rolling, which will feel very easy now. Let's go back and forth. So, change your feet every time, change your direction every time. Go ahead at your own pace. You can do 180 if you have the room. You can do 45 degrees if you have less room. All right, let's stand up. I like doing that rolling after that other exercise because it feels so easy compared to the other exercise. All right, let's do, let's do, first time I don't have a plan here. Let's do our pivoting exercise. We'll start with that. So I'm in left hanmi, right hanmi. I like to move the front foot first because it becomes the new back foot. Turns becomes the new back foot. A few of those at your own pace. Make sure your eyes and your belt facing the same direction, probably the same as your front foot toes. And then also make sure you're not bouncing in space. Your belt and your eyes are on the same plane. Let's add this. Now it's the same motion, but I'm going to slide in. Slide in and turn. Turn back. And turn back. Start the other side. Slide in and turn. Turn back. Slide and turn. Back. Slide and turn. Back. Was the kind of motion you would do for like in a nage. Get behind your partner, shihonage, nage. Be here. It's also the kind of motion. Let's do a series of kokyunage. So the Katatsutori kokyunage, and there's the cross step version, which we're very familiar with. The version I prefer, it has this footwork. You slide in, right, slide in, turn, pivot back, throw. So sort of what you were just doing. Slide, turn, pivot, throw. Think of leading uke past you with that hand. Do both sides. So basic kokyunage. Cross step is fine too. It's actually very good. But for some reason, once I discovered this one, I like it much better than cross step. I feel like I have a better connection with uke when there's an uke. Take a peek at you guys. So this would be, let's do the Tenkan version, the one that those of you who come on Tuesday nights. In the before times that that I like, where let me do this direction. I Tenkan, uke's here, I step back in and throw. Let me show you the other side. Tenkan, Tenkan, uke's attached here. I step back in, capture uke's head as you turn and throw. Wendy Sensei was talking about the steps that aren't a step, and here's one of them. This one, I put my foot here. I actually have to turn it and make it my back foot. And I go there. So you can try to do that in one motion. Step in with that foot already ready. Turn. This is Tenkan. Step in, kind of come in front of your partner. I like to even almost touch the top of my head here. It puts you in a position to capture uke's head. Just turn around in it. So there's another Tenkan one, which is another basic one, where at Tenkan, this time I continue my Tenkan, come up, and I can turn back and throw. You can continue the turn too. Tenkan, and I forgot, I lost my place. So you can continue the turn and throw this way, or you Tenkan, pivot one more time, and now throw back to where they were. So Tenkan, additional pivot, pivot back. Tenkan. A little different. You might notice that if you're doing it like I'm doing it, this last motion is very much like the first part of, or the end of the first one too. And kind of I set up this, and I just pivot and throw. Always on the balls of your feet. It's different too. So let's see, that was one kokyunage, 2 kokyunage from a tenkan with step in, 3 kokyunage with a tenkan with another turn. And now let's do a 4th version. This time I'm going to let uke come. I'm going to pivot here. Instead of tenkan step back, I'm going to pivot here. Uke is going to come this way. And I throw. So I pivot here. Let's go this direction. This direction. Sorry. So I pivot here. Lead that. Forget. Slide in, pivot. Sorry, lost my place. Hold on. Yeah. Pivot, step in. Sorry. Pivot, step in, throw. Pivot, step in, throw. This time when you raise your arms, raise them at a little bit of an angle, because uke will be coming around and will end up here in front of you. So I pivot, step, and then throw in that almost that same direction. 4th variation. Pivot, allow uke to come through. Lead them through. Let's see if I explain that really well. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Nick, what you just did, yeah. Coming here, pivoting here, stepping with it. Uke's coming over top here. Then you throw. Lead, uke. Come. Pivot, step. Pivot, step. Throw. It's a little bit harder to picture. Uh-oh, I lost my screen here. I don't know.
It's all right, keep going.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Can you turn that on HDMI 3? Okay, so there's a 4th one, and I'm glad Lana's here because it's kind of her favorite. That's when you sort of do this motion to throw. Right. So this is just the throw we're talking about. You know, you could add a tenkan and have uke here, and then throw back this way. I really liked how Wu Sensei explained this as throwing your whole body over here and then going to catch it. Like you're throwing something with your whole body and then you go over to catch it. So this is the motion that I want you to try. Something like that, right? So the shoulder kind of leads it, your whole body leads it. You go out there, big motion. You don't step first. It's almost like the throw happens and then your body has to come with it. This one should be very energetic. Or it feels very energetic to me. It's like my whole body is getting involved. I love the way he's explained and talked about that. Like you're throwing something and you go over to catch it. Sometimes it seems like we step and then we move our hands. But the longer I do this, I find lots of times where everything's happening together like this, right? Your foot moves almost like because it has to move, not because you're stepping here and then throwing. Right? Your foot moves because it has to move. Something like that. I'm working on it. So that is how many kokyunages then? 1, 2, 3. This one 4 and 5. It all be done from Katata Tori. So you can practice those whenever you want. Let's do, for posture, awareness, footwork, let's do that clock exercise. I'm not sure if everybody saw it, but if you're standing in left hanmi, picture a clock numbers around you. You're at 12 o'clock. If I wanted to go to 6 o'clock, it would be the pivot that we do. Now I'm facing 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. For all the numbers on this side, on the small numbers, your front foot, if you're in left hominy, you're going to be in right hominy when you're done. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. If you do 3 o'clock, it's the same thing. The front foot becomes the back foot, and then the back foot steps in, becomes front foot. So 3 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock. Try to avoid bouncing. Right, the whole time your belt's on the same plane, like you're wading in water and you don't want it to go up or farther up or farther down on your body. Same with your eyes, but hopefully your face is in the water. So let's do the numbers now. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, back to 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Stop for a second. See if your belt and your eyes and your front toes and your fingers are all facing the same direction. If you're a little bit off, that means you're doing it with your hands instead of your whole body. Okay, back to 12 o'clock. And now 6 o'clock. Back to 12 o'clock. Now 4 o'clock. Back to 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Back to 12 o'clock. Let's change hominy, and when you change hominy, don't bounce either. Step up, your belly's you're wading in the same amount of water. Step back, so it keeps your knees bent. You're always ready to move then, in any direction. So right hominy, we're at 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Again, it's a hominy change. 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, sorry, 12 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. Let's pivot. 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I really like this exercise. Kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit. Let's do we'll do yokomenuchi, shihonage, and we'll do the nage side. Maybe we'll do the uke side too. We'll do the nage side. So if you recall, when we're talking about hominy, there's a hominy. There's standard hominy is usually with your heel right inside your instep there, your arch. And I like my foot turned a little bit. Other people like a more open stance, right? So it would be back here. I like this a little more. But my heel is in line with my arch. There's also heel in line with heel. So you're a little bit more open. There's also back toe in line with front heel. This was kind of a mind blower for me that Bo showed, and I think that's why I have the tape still here. But say, for instance, we'll hold off on the yokomenuchi for a second. If you have your back toes to your front heels, this allows you to do a very quick tenkan because your foot's already a little bit off the line. And your partner probably doesn't know it, right? But if you were heel to heel and you try to do this, you'll see your legs almost run into each other. Heel to heel is better for tenshin. And if I try to do a tenshin with my back toes lined up with my heels, it's very awkward. There's a lot of pressure on your knee, you run into your knees. So I think for tenshin motion like we're about to do, I prefer this hominy where your heels are in the line. So it's a very subtle difference, but it makes a difference in your ability to react. So yokomenuchi comes, I step back, if I'm heel to heel, it's very easy to do. And there's also, if you notice, that kind of extra step we don't talk about. If I want this, my toes to face this way when I'm done, I can do that before my tenshin starts. So I actually turn my back foot and I can cut them right there. So let's try that a few times. It's tenshin. See if you could start with your legs bent and not reach up and extend your body. Your body stays on that plane. Try both sides. Set your hami. The yokomenuchi is coming. I'm meeting it with this arm, not stopping it, blending with it, cutting down right to my center. This is just the very first step. So let's do the rest of it now. So then you can think about that opening. So yokomenuchi, shihonage, step back, you can draw them in a little bit, slide out, step in, down. Just do a mote, picture it yourself. We all know this one. Be cognizant of where you put your feet at the beginning. Change sides. And then also right at the end, if you watch for a second, when I come in to throw, I'm throwing back there. This is going to be my back foot at the end. So I need to place that in the back foot position. It'll speed up my technique if I can place it there. If I have to step, pivot, and go, that's a lot of time to have your hands up here. You just want this to come over right in the circle. So I step with my back foot and put it down there. Back foot is my back foot again. Here, is that right? Yeah. Uchi, step. Right, your back foot has to turn. So that'll save you a step if you can do it while you're swinging up. Well, why don't we have a few minutes left. Why don't we do the yukemi too? I know I've been doing this with an object, but I don't have one today, so I won't do that. So yokomenuchi, first off, let's think about that yokomenuchi that we've learned from doing these Zoom ones too. Okay, bent feet again. I step, my shoulder is still back. My shoulder is still back until the strike. Then my whole body turns. Try a few of those. This feels a little different to me, but it feels very good. I think probably before I started doing the Zoom, I would do this more all step. My body had already be turned, and then I'd strike. It's not as much power. Try both sides. All right, now let's add the yukemi portion. So we did that great strike. Now uke extended us off, turned us. Body stays in a line. Try both sides. You can actually put your pressure on your own hand if you want. Or you can imagine uke's pressure there. When we did this previous weeks, I'd sort of stop here and put the pressure on it and go over. But since we're not pretending like we're nage 2, picture your strike, your nage had perfect timing, and right as you were at the edge of your strike, it took you off balance. Your strike almost leads you off balance. Kick the couch. Another point of this that we never talk about, I just noticed sometimes there's almost like a little hop, right? You got to keep turning your toes, that you don't have this foot to deal with, because Nage's done a great job taking you off balance. There's almost a hop there. So can't get your ankles turned too much. Yeah. Yeah, so it's an experiment with balance, losing your balance. Kiyoshi Sensei has talked about like taking ukemi for kohai, and you can intentionally put yourself, instead of go ahead and move me, you can intentionally put yourself in that off balance position. It shows them better where you're supposed to go. So you try to put yourself in a little more extreme off balance position. Here you can do it with yourself, as opposed to all seen that ukemi. It's like I'm yawning in the middle of it. So have active ukemi. All right, why don't we cool down a little bit? We got a few minutes left here. So we'll do a little jumping. Circles. Since we're supposed to be at summer camp right now, let's do this circle where you end at one knee. Seki Sensei ends class. Bounce, and then bounce your way over to the other knee. A really good stretch after a good hour of Aikido, even though this wasn't an hour. Okay, now we'll do the legs. And let's just go right to breathing. So we'll do this like Art Wise Sensei. First, exhale all your air down, all your air out. Swing up. Bring everything down tight. Exhale. Second part, inhale, make everything big. Might even go up on your toes a little. Exhale again. Bringing everything to this one point. Now exhale everything else. Okay, thanks very much. Let's bow out. Thank you, everybody.
You
Thank you,
said
Sensei.